When the pain grows, anything goes. Devil is a lie, looking for the prize. That's eternal life. And bringing the things in my mind. I'm talking real peace of mind. That's something money can't buy.
What's up, YouTube fam? It's your boy KingMarcell, and I'm back with another video. When you guys see all of these new allegations that's coming out against Diddy, I believe it's 120 more victims that are now stepping forward. I told you guys this rabbit hole is about to keep getting deeper and deeper and deeper. And with these 120 new victims that's coming out, I want you guys to keep in mind who all were involved. Are more people going to be implemented in these new cases that's coming out? We're about to check out this press conference that this new lawyer is now bringing forward 120 new victims, and I'm hearing that a lot of them are minors. And this is only still the surface level. I've been telling y'all ever since this Diddy situation started. We are just at the surface. And even with these 120 more victims, this is still just the surface level of things. Once this stuff start diving into the underground bases and the trafficking of all things that you can think can be trafficked, and the deep levels of government that are involved in it and is at play, allegedly, let me say allegedly, you know what I'm saying, it's going to blow the lid on the trust of the American people. We really, and it needs to, because it's like, why do you guys think all of this is going on right before the election? Because a lot of people trying to say that it's a distraction and that this stuff don't go hand in hand. And I'm telling y'all, this shit is going hand in hand. It's going hand in hand. Make sure you guys like this video, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell so that you're notified whenever I do drop a video here. We're on the road to 500 subscribers, so make sure you guys are subbing up. But without further ado, let's get into this press conference.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tony Busby. I'm a lawyer here in Houston. I'm licensed in Texas and in New York. And I'll introduce other members of our team as they speak. As many of you know, our law firm has been at the forefront of some of the most important litigation in the United States. We like the tough cases. We thrive in the complicated cases. We've handled over the last 25 years some very big and very important cases. I believe that this one may surpass them all. There are many facets to this. The conduct we will describe today occurred over more than 20 years. There are many people and many entities involved. And we're going to follow this evidence wherever it takes us. We will find the silent accomplices. We will expose the enablers who enabled this conduct behind closed doors. We will pursue this matter no matter who the evidence implicates. These brave victims who have stepped forward deserve nothing less. The biggest secret in the entertainment industry that really wasn't a secret at all.
Not at all. It wasn't.
Has finally been revealed to the world. The wall of silence has now been broken, and victims are coming forward. Our team has had at this point more than 3,285 individuals contact us.
Wait, he just say fucking 3,000 people? Did he just say 3,000?
Our team has had at this point more than 3,285 individuals contact us with people claiming to have been victimized by Sean Combs.
What?
After vetting, we now represent 120 individuals who intend to bring civil claims in civil court against Sean Diddy Combs, as well as claims against many other individuals and entities that we will name as defendants as we file these individual cases.
Like I told y'all, like I was just saying right at the beginning, other people going to be implemented. These are, first of all, that just really fucked my head up. Over 3,000. Close to what? It sounded like it was close to 4,000. And I know that's not even it. And I know a lot of people gonna be like, damn, why they only take 120? These probably only the 120 that they can actually prove and you know what I'm saying, they can put their stories together. It's easy to prove that. But god damn. And just think of all the people who are about to be named in these lawsuits. Was Jaguar right? Jaguar writes about Jay-Z being next.
And you should know, to the extent the clients feel comfortable, we also intend to make these individuals available to the authorities, specifically to the FBI. And you should also know a few of them have already been spoken to. Now, before we discuss the nature of the claims and claimants themselves, let me comment on the large volume of calls
I know they keep doing that.
Received since our first announcement. Even before the indictment of Sean Combs, we had received a small volume of calls and had screened a handful of cases. After the indictment of Sean Combs and the announcement that we were pursuing these claims, the floodgates opened. People who wouldn't otherwise, for a variety of reasons, are now stepping forward to make their voices heard and to
they smell the blood in the water.
But no, most of these people are scared. They fear backlash in their communities. They fear backlash in their own families. They are afraid of retaliation from the perpetrators and their associates. They are rightly afraid for their own personal safety. I expect that through this process, many powerful people will be exposed. Many dirty secrets will be revealed. We know what we are potentially up against. And as is always the case in situations like this, when a celebrity is involved, people can be downright mean and nasty. You'll be shocked at the length fans will go, no matter the evidence, to the contrary, to defend celebrities they love. I mean, there's a reason for this word fans. They're fanatics.
Yeah.
I've personally already been threatened multiple times on social media. And when I agreed to pursue this, I expected as much.
Yeah.
This isn't my first rodeo. But victims who step forward to have their voices heard should not be subjected to that kind of conduct. They should not be targeted.
And
I want to say that
this is why Kendrick came out with that song, Watch the Party Die. Y'all gotta stop idolizing these people. And I understand that a lot of celebrities are about to get named. This shit has been going on throughout Hollywood since its inception. Since the very beginning, it's always been this. It didn't just start with Diddy. And it ain't just Diddy. It ain't just a handful of artists and movie stars. Like he just said, over 3,000 people tried to come in touch with just his law firm. It's many different lawyers that are now being representing victims. So this law firm alone got 3,000. Imagine others. This is on such a big scale, and I still don't think you all are realizing it. Y'all not peeping it, man. This shit is big.
Although we are vetting each call as stringently as we can, I always start with a mindset that I believe victims. I believe victims because I understand the tremendous courage it takes to step forward. So if you're watching this, please hear me. If you're out there and you have been victimized, you are not alone. There is a great strength in numbers. You can seek redress. You can obtain justice. We can help you, and we will help you. That being said, as stated, we are vetting every call that we receive. We have had to turn away some. For each, we ask for corroboration. For each, we ask for the identity of witnesses. We also have collected pictures, videos, texts. We check venues, we check dates. We want to corroborate that the claims being made have legitimacy and merit. We have on staff now a former detective from the Major Offenders Unit of Houston Police Department who is helping us vet each claim. We're using our common sense. We're being stringent because, as I said, these are not easy cases. They're very tough. The process is hard, and in some cases, the process is very lengthy. These cases are hard to prove.
Yeah.
Many times it's the victim's word against the alleged perpetrator.
And I feel like that's why they have these 120, is that all of their stories probably corroborate each other's. So once they do rather if they're doing all of these together or if they're doing them separately, they can validate each other through these other court proceedings as they keep going on. They all would give validity to each other. It's like they all are each other's witnesses.
Each of these victims will no doubt be publicly attacked by the alleged perpetrators, and in some cases, the general public. The feckless and cowardly keyboard warriors love to attack. We know what we're up against. We did not enter this fray blindly. I wish it was my last such fray. I wish this type of behavior wasn't so pervasive. But it is what it is, so we will press on. As I said, our law firms have been retained by 120 individuals at this point to pursue cases in civil court against Sean Diddy Combs. You should know, in this group, it is evenly divided between males and females. There are 60 males and 60 females who have joined us to pursue these claims as plaintiffs. In this group, 62% identify as African American, 30% are white, and the remainder are Hispanic or Asian. The victims are from more than 25 states. The majority are from California, New York, Georgia, and Florida.
What are they doing to this video?
Of these victims.
Like, what the hell?
When we talk about the ages of the victims when the conduct occurred, it's shocking. Our youngest victim at the time of the occurrence was 9 years old.
Oh my goodness.
We have an individual who was 14 years old. We have one who was 15. 25 of the 120 individuals who are plaintiffs in these cases were minors at the time of the acts complained of.
And because I know a lot of people going to think, because I know I'll be saying it's a lot of trafficking going on, but they saying that it was only just this 9. It goes way younger than 9-year-olds. What I think they are doing is that these are probably people who were trying to get into the industry and they wasn't being trafficked at first. And that either through time or in certain instances, they were taken advantage of. That's why I keep saying that this shit is still surface level. We haven't even gotten to the ritualistic, demonic things that these people partake in at these parties with other minors. So I just want you guys to keep that in mind and understand that if you didn't hear anyone else, anywhere else, you heard it here first.
The time frame of the acts complained of is very wide. The conduct at issue spans from the years 1991 all the way till this year, 2024. If you want
all the way still up to this year, this man is crazy.
We're talking about more than 25 years of this type of conduct.
What the fuck?
Although most of the victims who have stepped forward were victimized after 2015, this has been going on for a very long time. Now, when you think about the fact that some of this conduct occurred 25 years ago, and you wonder why would it take somebody so long to step forward, I want to remind you that many states in the United States have recognized that it's very difficult for a victim to step forward and to make these types of allegations when something very terrible has happened to them. I'll use New York, the state of New York, as an example. The state of New York has specific statutes in place that revive claims that are even claims that would typically be not able to be brought, that revive such claims, and they can be brought even 25 to 30 years later. Because there's a recognition there in New York and California and other states that it's very difficult for a victim to come forward. And I would respectfully suggest the only reason many of these people are coming forward because they see other victims coming forward. And it gives them some comfort that, hey, I won't be the only one. And I expect more victims will come forward. You know, as an old saying,
gracious.
It says, a lie has great speed, but truth has endurance. The acts complained of in these cases that we're going to file occurred primarily in New York, either Manhattan or the Hamptons, or occurred in California, primarily in Los Angeles, or in Florida, primarily in Miami. Most of these events and incidents occurred at parties, typically after parties, or album release parties, New Year's Eve parties, 4th of July parties, something they called a puppy party, all-white party.
Puppy party or puffy party?
Events occurred at auditions. Many times, especially young people, people wanting to break into the industry, were coerced into this type of conduct in the promise of being made a star, or in the promise of having Sean Combs listen to their tape or even let them read for Sean Combs.
See, and this is why you should never idolize anybody, because they can take advantage of you. 9 times out of 10 from what we're hearing, they will take advantage of you one way or another, either it's financially or physically. Understand these are just people. They ain't no different from you and me. But all of this mayhem has come from people trying to chase fame and ego. These are things we're going to have to break out of, because we can't act like we haven't been seeing the signs of this shit. We can't act like we haven't been. They talk about it in the music. But what? We thought they was lying? It was a song back in the day. Rick Ross was talking about putting something in somebody's drink. But we thought he was lying? No, this is how bold they've been. This is how untouchable they've been feeling. Because y'all let them. Y'all make them feel like they on top of the fucking world. That they can't be touched. Like times are changing.
Some of this behavior occurred at well-known venues.
It's a changing.
Some of this behavior occurred at private residences of people that we all know.
So other people homes.
Some of this behavior occurred at hotels that we're all familiar with. You should know that more than 55% of the victims filed reported this conduct to either the authorities, that is the police, or to hospitals. We're in the process of collecting with our team assistants, medical records, reports that were made to the authorities. And I've already said that some of the individuals in this group did in fact talk to the FBI. You should know that several of the individuals, and when I say several, I mean many, who did in fact seek medical treatment were drug tested. And drugs were found in their system, weird drugs that you probably never heard of. One in particular that continues to pop up is a drug called xylazine, or trank, which, based on our research, is known as a horse tranquilizer.
Horse tranquilizer.
Chicago South. This is your
He
moment.
was giving these motherfuckers horse tranquilizer. Like, I really want you guys to literally, like, digest that for a second. This man was roofing motherfuckers with horse tranquilizer. Something that's made for a fucking big ass animal. He was just giving to all the fucking guests, because they saying all of the drinks were laced. All of the drinks, not even just the liquor, the water, the cranberry juice, all of the regular shit was laced with this shit. This nigga never finna see the light of day again. This nigga is never finna see the light of day.
One in particular that continues to pop up is a drug called xylazine, or trank, which, based on our research, is known as a horse tranquilizer.
What the fuck?
Now, there's been a lot of reports that we're filing a class action. This is not a class action. Class action is when 1 or 2 people file a case on behalf of a group of people.
Okay, so they're not doing that.
These cases will be individual cases. Each case will live and die on its own merit.
Because it's other people.
Will be filed individually. One plaintiff.
They're doing it individually because one victim is saying such and such at the freak off did this. Such and such is saying such and such, saying Diddy and this person did this. The next plaintiff is Diddy and this other person did this. This other plaintiff is saying Diddy and this other person did this, or these group of people did this. They gonna go basically from room from the fucking freak off, and whoever was being violated, they are having their own cases. But it's like, again, it's like these cases are going to act as witnesses to the other cases. It's going to bring validity to the other cases that comes out, especially if they have this video footage that all of these lawyers are saying that they got. So what, now everybody got copies of the fucking freak offs?
Against whoever the defendants were involved in the case. Each case may be filed in one venue like California. Another case may be filed in New York. One case may sue just Sean Combs, but multiple other people. One case may sue a range of people.
Yep, see? Yeah.
I would expect most, though, to be filed, as I said, in New York and Los Angeles. Now, I know this. Many of you came here.
So that means Diddy is going to be in court. This means Diddy then they're going to be in court for the rest of his life on top of it. Unless they're going to make these like quick cases, like unless they just got that much evidence to where these are open and shut cases. Other than that, Diddy ain't got enough money for these court cases. His money is about to run up very quickly with these being individual cases. He gonna be going back and forth from New York to California for what, if they not quick cases, for the next decade or two, damn near longer. This is 120 cases. He is never gonna have a break. This shit is crazy.
Perhaps believing that I may start naming names. Well, that day will come, but it won't be today.
Yeah, don't warn them.
The day will come when we will name names other than Sean Combs, and there's a lot of names. It's a long list already. And of course, I already know who some of these individuals are, but because of the nature of this case, we're going to make damn sure that we're right before we do that. But the names that we're going to name, assuming that our investigators confirm and corroborate what we've been told, are names that will shock you. These are individual cases. There are indeed other perpetrators involved. They will be revealed when that particular individual case is ready to be filed. They already know who they are. And I'm talking here about not just the cowardly but complicit bystanders. That is, those people that we know watched this behavior occur and did nothing. And I'm talking about the people that participated, encouraged it, egged it on. They know who they are. I call them the facilitators of foul play, willing participants in vile conduct. As we identify them, each will be part of this case as defendants. These defendants will not only include individuals, but would also include corporate entities who ultimately profited off of this culture and behavior. I'm looking at banks, pharmaceutical companies, hotels. We know.
Oh, he said banks. He said banks. He didn't even. Whoa! He didn't even just say. He went straight past the entertainment industry. He like, y'all already know that's cooked. Y'all already know that's cooked. The entertainment industry fried now. But we also finna get the bankers too. Hold on. Y'all don't know the implications of this. What? Oh, I know. They got motherfuckers sweating.
This culture and behavior.
Oh, this crazy.
Banks, pharmaceutical companies, hotels.
Pharmaceutical companies too.
We know that many of these individuals were paid cash. We know that many of these individuals involved, whether they were the ones being assaulted and abused or other people being assaulted and abused.
I never thought this day would come.
And threatened and told to leave. Typically paid 10 grand in cash and told to leave. And then threatened as they were leaving. So in addition to Sean Combs, you should know the defendants in these cases we're going to file will include anyone, of course, who engaged in the assault or exploitation. Anyone who participated in such in any way. anyone who encouraged or facilitated this conduct, anyone who was in the room and watched it happen, but made no effort to stop it.
He said, y'all was just there watching. Y'all was there just scared, shivering. Didn't say nothing. Didn't stick up for nobody. Y'all too. Y'all too. Y'all complicit in it too. Unless y'all step forward and say something and snitch on these niggas, y'all going down right with them.
Anyone who was in the room and watched it happen, but made no effort to stop it. Any venue or venue owner who was aware of what was going on, but failed to stop it. Any individual or entity who knew about the conduct and benefited from it, but did nothing to report it or stop it. And any individual or entity who covered it up or helped cover it up. These people who know who they are should just come forward now. I would imagine, as we speak here, there are a myriad of people who are very nervous.
Yes, sir.
You can't hide skeletons in the closet forever. I would expect there are many people out there right now who are desperately searching their memories as they delete their texts and data. Now, although these are, in fact, individual cases, there is a common theme, an MO, if you will. Typically, the victim is lured into a situation where he or she is given a drink. Typically, that drink, reported by these victims, is apparently laced with something. Once that drink takes effect, the perpetrators perform all kinds of sexual acts on the victims, many times passing him or her around.
Wow.
As other people watch and enjoy the show, and then leave the victim ashamed, confused, injured, and wondering what happened. When the victim reaches out, he or she is told not to say anything. Sometimes there are threats of physical violence or financial repercussions or bodily harm.
What the fuck?
The claims we intend to bring will include the following: violent sexual assault or rape, sexual abuse, facilitated sex with a controlled substance, false imprisonment, compelling prostitution, sexual misconduct, dissemination of video recordings, false imprisonment, sexual abuse of minors. Given a large volume of cases.
That's for those who saying, oh, there ain't no kids involved. There ain't no 25 that we know of right now. If y'all think it's not finna blow up, like, come on, man. It real.
Given the fact that we want to be sure when we file these cases that they are fully vetted, I expect we'll start filing these cases against Sean Combs and other perpetrators within the next 30 days.
In the next 30 days?
It's rare.
Did he say he's going to say their name in the next 30 days? Hold on.
Sean Combs and other perpetrators within the next 30 days.
Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to really hear what he's saying about that. Is he saying their names in the next 30 days?
Given a large volume of cases and given our other docket obligations, and given the fact that we want to be sure when we file these cases that they are fully vetted, I expect we'll start filing these cases against Sean Combs and other perpetrators within the next 30 days.
Within the next 30 days, y'all.
It's rare. Sexual abuse, sexual exploitation, this type of activity is pervasive in our society, and it's rare we get a chance where we can really focus on this as a country and really focus on this about how pervasive this is and what we as collectively can do about it. So I thought I'd take this opportunity before I go into some of the individual cases and talk about some of the individual claims being made and so you'll get a sense of what this 120 people group looks like individually.
Okay.
I want to bring forward Carrie Paul. She's a national victim advocate who helps victims who have been victimized by this type of conduct. And she has some important words, and I hope you'll pay close attention. I think it's important that you hear from her.
Hello, I'm Carrie Paul with the National Victim Advocate. It's not easy for any survivor to come forward.
Definitely.
Our culture doesn't believe survivors. It blames and questions them. Instead of showing support, many choose to enable abusers. The media runs stories asking why it took so long for survivors to come forward instead of asking what barriers exist.
Exactly.
We also don't equip law enforcement with the ability to handle sexual assault crimes. Lack of funding translates to lack of training. We have officers in the field that don't know what to say to a rape victim, and also an alarming amount of backlogged, untested rape kits. Prosecutors are focused on what they can prove in a case, and if so, how to do that at time of trial. Advocates and staff are stretched thin with growing caseloads in the criminal justice system. Most people don't know how the criminal justice works in general.
Facts.
There isn't enough staff or resources to adequately explain the entire process to every victim and survivor. Our culture works against victims and survivors every day, and abusers know this. Abusers work themselves into positions of power, building a public image that is trusted and financially large enough to make people look away. Abusers are unfortunately very skilled at power and control, the foundation of abuse. They seek victims who are vulnerable, such as children, their employees,
Oh, goodness
and their
gracious.
partners, all who see a different version than the public does, all who rely on the abuser in some way. And for those that do come forward and aren't believed, face questions like, are you sure it happened that way? Were you drinking? What were you wearing? All of this creates an environment that enables abusers to continue abusing them and future victims.
And I'm not gonna lie and say like I've been one of those ones who said things of that nature, right? Like, oh, what was you wearing? Were you willingly going around these people, this and that? Even though I feel like at this point we all heard the stories, we should have known. And people who were putting themselves in these situations or putting the children in these situations, they wild as hell because motherfuckers always heard the stories. Everybody always knew. But to hear the layer of, and these motherfuckers was drugged at the door. Hearing that even the drugs was in the water. We have to understand these people are, and to just think of how many Diddy parties have there been over the last 20, 30 years. Like he just named off a bunch of different parties that this man was having every single year, and that was just Diddy. Imagine how many other people are throwing these parties. Just drugging people. It wouldn't surprise me if it's over 50,000 victims. If it's not even more than that, over the amount of time you have to drink in order to get in the party. And we seen pictures of these parties. It's thousands of people at this party. So that's just one party. Thousands of people got drugged. Didn't know. That's just one party. They did multiple parties every year. It's not small, y'all. They've been doing it in our faces. But it's the fact that it's still people that don't believe this shit, that don't believe this is going on, that don't believe these celebrities are doing this shit, and that this is all a ruse. Wake up.
To the survivors that have come forward despite not being believed at some point in time, your courage is like nothing we have seen before. We thank you for coming forward for yourself and all survivors. And lastly, I want all survivors that are watching this to know we believe you and we support you. Thank you.
I want you now to hear from my co-counsel, Andrew Van Arsdale. You know, we've created a sexual abuse hotline, and I want him to visit with us just a few moments about how that works and the kind of volume of calls we've received.
Thank you, Tony. Like Tony said, my name is Andrew Van Arsdale. I'm the managing partner of Baby A Law Group. We have offices in California, Montana, and North Carolina. To build off of what you just so well said, it's very hard to come forward. And given what we've experienced the past 10 days is really unprecedented in my career, at least. We represent thousands of survivors of abuse. And never, ever in a 10-day period have we seen over 3,000 people come forward.
Like, what the fuck?
We've confirmed and decided to investigate and represent 120 people while we're continuing to work through another 100+ cases.
Wow.
Prove them up to validate what had happened here and to hold those that are responsible accountable. And so like Tony said, we've set this up. It's 1-800-200-7474. I have a team of people standing by literally. If you know that this happened to someone and you have information about it, please contact us. If this happened to you, come forward. There's attorney-client privilege here. What you tell us is in confidence. Yes, we'll have to go out and build your case, but we will protect you. And the other thing that I want to say is the pattern and practice of this, again, is unprecedented. Over 30+ years of the same sort of events happening.
Right.
People thrust into the circle reportedly and horrible things happening to them
Yeah.
as a result. And from talking to these people that have come forward these past 10 days, I can tell you unequivocally that because the federal government did what it needed to do and indicted this man, that they put him in jail and a judge kept him in jail, they tell me directly, this validates my feelings. For so long, I thought it was my fault. What is it about me that put myself in that scenario? What was I wearing at the time? What did I do to be subjected to such horrific treatment at these people that I was trying to trust? Well, we know now it was not your fault. You were victimized by a group of powerful people that operated for 30+ years, taking
And
advantage
impunity
of their wealth and the power that they held within the music industry. So again, thank you to every single person that has come forward and contacted our office over the past 10 days. If you or someone you know suffered the same sort of treatment, please contact us at the number behind me and we will help you. Thank you.
If you're thinking of selling your
Like,
home
for
soon,
real, any
don't
of y'all
miss
been
out
through
on
that
this. Not
shit,
only will
man,
you buy
make
your
sure y'all
house
reach out to
fast,
that number, man. Make sure y'all understand that this is the time for all of this shit to come to the light. And I understand a lot of people don't want their story told. A lot of people, especially for the men that this happens to, you know what I'm saying? Like, no man wants to admit that they've been assaulted, you know what I'm saying? We look at that as our manhood being taken from us. And to think that there are 60 men on here who are saying, yeah, these men damn near to my manhood. They got me fucked up, drugged, and did unimaginable things to me. Man, you brave for that, bro. You brave for that, and we got to support these people as they come out, man. As this stuff comes out, we have to show empathy for these people. Because these are people who've been holding on to this shit for years in most cases. Decades in other cases. And just now feeling like maybe something can be done. And a lot of this is our fault. A lot of people, man, they ignored it. I've been telling people this shit been going on for years. People, oh, you a conspiracy theorist. That ain't going on. Ain't none of that shit happening. Little do y'all know another element is about to be unlayered.
I think it speaks to how important this issue is in the United States and frankly internationally, that we have reputable people here that want to provide kind of information that I think victims need to hear, witnesses need to hear, the public needs to hear. Let me introduce to you now Olivia Rivers from the Texas Association Against Sexual Assault, and let her visit with you a few moments about these types of cases.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Q Olivia Rivers. I am just served my 6th year as the board chair for the Texas Association Against Sexual Assault. I'm also the CEO for the Bridge Over Troubled Waters, which is a local rape crisis center here in the Houston area. So thank you for being here as we address these heinous crimes. Sexual assault is not just a crime of violence against the body. It's an assault on the very essence of human dignity and safety. It shatters lives, it destroys confidence, and all too often, it leaves survivors feeling like they are voiceless, isolated, and vulnerable. The reality for many survivors is that coming forward to report their assault is one of the most difficult and daunting tasks that they will ever have to do. And for some, it may take days, months, or even years to speak up, if they ever do. The reasons for this have been mentioned, but include the fear of being disbelieved, being blamed or judged, and, of course, retaliation. The trauma of the assault itself being compounded by the trauma of the criminal justice process, where survivors must relive their experience in order to seek justice. And these feelings and fears are further exacerbated when the allegations are against prominent figures in the entertainment industry or Hollywood. Cases involving powerful figures often attract significant media attention, which can deter victims from coming forward due to fear of public exposure or scrutiny. The intense focus on these high-profile cases can make survivors feel that their personal lives are being put under a microscope, causing further emotional distress. These allegations mentioned here today, as reported, reflect deeply troubling claims that deserve thorough investigation, and no individual, regardless of their stature, is above the law or public accountability.
Facts.
Sadly, the statistics paint a very disturbing picture. According to the National Sexual Violence Resource Center, 1 in 3 women and 1 in 6 men will experience some form of sexual violence in their lifetime. In the U.S. alone, there are approximately 463,000 victims of rape or sexual assault every year, and these numbers barely scratch the surface, as sexual violence remains one of the most underreported crimes. But the numbers that follow tell an even more troubling story. Only about 23% of sexual assaults are reported to law enforcement. Of those, just 5% lead to an arrest, and even fewer, less than 1% of reported cases ever result in a conviction, which is a devastating gap between the crime and the justice that survivors deserve. I want to briefly focus on our state here in Texas. According to the Texas Association Against Sexual Assault, 6.3 million Texans, men and women, will experience some form of violence. That's every 2 minutes someone is sexually assaulted, meaning during the course of this press conference, around 60 individuals will forever be changed by this violence. And those are just a few of the victims. Obviously, this is unacceptable. We cannot allow this cycle of silence and inaction to continue. We have to create an environment where survivors feel empowered to come forward, where they are met with empathy and respect and support, not skepticism and blame. We have to ensure that our legal system is equipped to handle these cases with the seriousness they deserve, and that survivors have access to the resources that they need beyond the legal courtroom. We have to address the root causes of this epidemic: prevention, awareness, and fostering environments where respect, consent, and safety are non-negotiable values. Additionally, support for survivors has to be holistic. They have to have access to counseling, medical services, legal advocacy, and of course, community support, regardless of whether they choose to report or not. To every survivor who has come forward, your bravery is an inspiration. To those who are still grappling with their decision, know that you are not alone and that your voice matters. Your story matters. We see you, we believe you, and we are committed to fighting for a future where sexual violence is no longer tolerated, and where decision, know that you are not alone and that your voice matters. Your story matters.
Yeah.
We see you, We believe you
How
and
did I
we are
just do
committed
that?
to fighting for a future where sexual violence is no longer tolerated and where justice is not the exception, but the standard. Thank you.
I want to visit with you real quickly before we close here about some specific instances without disclosing the victim's name. You probably know that depending on the age of the victim, you can file these cases, these individual cases, under Jane Doe or John Doe. Each state is different in that respect. Typically, there is a balancing test, like the public's right to know the name of the victim and plaintiff versus the confidentiality and the safety of the plaintiff. So we'll have to struggle with that with each one of these cases. Our intention, of course, is to, like we always do, file these cases under a pseudonym until the court tells us otherwise. But let me share with you.
So basically, they're gonna give them a fake name. We're gonna know them under a fake name until either something in the court case makes them have to say the name, or after the court case.
If you just kind of give you a sense of the kind of cases and the kind of instances that people are calling and reporting that we are trying to corroborate, vet, and these are the ones that we've already corroborated, vetted, and collected evidence on. One individual who was 22 years at the time she was assaulted said that the typical MO at one of these parties that have been widely discussed in the press was that when you were handed a drink, and now we know that the drink is laced with something, if you refused to drink it, you were kicked out of the party. Now, let that sink in for a minute. I mean,
Like
the admission
literally.
to this party was that you had to drink the chosen drink that was handed to you.
That you didn't pour, which is a big ass red flag in from the jump. I don't give no fuck where the fuck I'm at, where I'm going. Even when me and my friends would go to parties back in the day, we brought our own drinks, we brought our own bud if we had it, if we wanted it. But always brought our own drinks. We never really drunk from where we was at, because a lot of the times we didn't know those people. People spiked the punch bowl at damn near every function. You don't know what they putting in there. So it's good to have your own shit. And a lot of people don't like sharing anyway. So why shouldn't you have your own shit? I'm not coming to get fucked up on somebody else's dollar. I'm here to have a good time. But you open yourself up to that when you're just handing some shit and then thinking it's okay to drink. Before you come in here, you need to drink this or you can't come in. But I'm gone. I'm gone. But a lot of people be feeling like in these instances, feeling like their whole career is on the line. If I don't get in this party and network, I'm not going to be nothing. They dangle people being able to bring their family out of poverty, to have a successful career, to not be in the hood no more. And they use that to do this unimaginable wickedness to them. Man, these people got some shit coming, man.
That in most cases, I would say 90% of the cases, these individuals were drugged with some sort of drug.
90% of the cases. That's wild.
Another instance, this individual who was 9 years old at the time was taken to a audition in New York City with Bad Boy Records. Other boys were there to audition as well. All of them were trying to land a record deal. All of them
casting couch.
Minors. This individual was sexually abused, allegedly by Sean Combs and several other people at the studio in the promise to both his parents and to him himself of getting a record deal. Another instance, another minor, told allegedly by Sean Combs that he would make him a star, but he needed to visit with him in private about it, away from his parents. Once they were in a private area, allegedly Mr. Combs made the victim perform oral sex on him.
Goodness gracious.
Another incident, an individual 15 years old at the time, flown to New York City to attend a party.
Where the parents at?
Drugged and then taken into a private room, allegedly in the presence of Mr. Combs, where this female individual, minor, was raped, and then other individuals took turns.
Wow.
Another individual, 26 at the time of the occurrence, was picked up allegedly by Mr. Combs and several other people in a black SUV from the airport, was given one drink in the SUV, and then literally woke up the next day not knowing what had happened,
Wow.
with pain and damage to both her vagina and her anus.
Oh my goodness.
She then went to the hospital. She was missing her underwear and her shoes. Another instance, an individual, this time not a minor, attended a group dinner, allegedly with Sean Combs in Miami. She wasn't drinking because she was pregnant.
What?
Whatever she drank at the table, apparently, at least according to her, was laced with something.
Wow.
She blacked
A
out.
pregnant
She
woman.
woke up in the same bed, again, allegedly, with Mr. Combs in his mansion in Miami. Her vagina and her anus were torn and sore.
Oh my goodness gracious.
And I could go on. I mean, literally,
Oh.
you're sensing a theme here. It's the same.
Yeah, fucking sick ass, wild ass niggas, G. What the fuck? No one was spared, not a child, it didn't matter the age, it don't seem like, and you even did this shit to a pregnant woman. What the fuck, bro?
Theme. And it all
What the
involves
fuck?
some sort of drug.
Trank.
One instance, an individual who was 20 years old at the time was asked to attend, just saw her on the street, asked to attend a party in a hotel. She was flattered, went to the party, was given one drink and doesn't remember anything else.
Wow.
Was so messed up, went to the hospital where they found cocaine and this horse tranquilizer in her blood system. I want to give you a quote from a very young man who told us over the phone about his experience and all the things that happened to him, he says, allegedly at the hands of Sean Diddy Combs and his friends in the effort to try to sign a record deal. This was kind of what he was told he would have to do. His quote is, "Had he not been in power, I feel like I could have been something great.
Damn.
I quit the industry because of what Sean Combs did to me." And that's really
That's
what it comes
fucked
down
up.
to.
That's really fucked up, man. That's
Are
sad.
pursuing this, asking
People
you,
are trying to like pursue their dreams, you know what I'm saying? Make some money for their family. Was trying to just meet the right people that was going to be able to make that happen, and it was all a lie. That's messed up in itself. And again, we still just at the surface level of this shit, y'all. These people thrived off people pain and suffering and got rich and wealthy off of that. It's a special place in hell.
to support this effort, to encourage witnesses and victims to come forward and bring your evidence so we can continue to break down this wall of silence and we can continue to have these stories heard. This is the beginning of what I hope to be a national dialogue.
Yeah.
This type of sexual assault, sexual abuse, and sexual exploitation should never happen in the United States or anywhere else. This should have never been allowed to go on for so long. This conduct has created a mass of individuals who are injured, scared, and scarred. If you're one of those individuals, we ask you to reach out. If not to us, to someone you trust. If you're someone who witnessed any of these events, we ask you to reach out. Your name can remain confidential. With that, I'll take a few questions, not many, maybe two, but if you have a question, I'll be pleased to try to answer it.
How many minors are making accusations in total, and are the feds aware of the allegations of minors in the case?
Exactly.
I don't know what the feds are aware of, okay, but I do know it's 25 out of this 120. But I will say this to that point. We welcome the FBI or any authority who wants to come to us, and we're going to make that available to these victims because I think that's important.
I think basically what they're getting at is that the feds aren't being very helpful in these investigations into this nigga. That's what I'm really getting from what he's saying, is that how the fuck y'all not aware of what the fuck the feds got? And the feds are doing this whole big ass case in New York on this nigga. But again, they ain't touched the minors either, I noticed in that case. Why the fuck not? The feds got all the proof. The feds was the ones who fucking, well, it wasn't necessarily the feds, but I know the feds have that evidence from when Homeland Security when this nigga crib. These niggas saying that they got tapes. So why the fuck the feds ain't, why the FBI ain't being more helpful in this? Why isn't the government being more? Because it's finna bring forth a lot of politicians. Y'all, man, Obama down there finna be on them tapes. Hillary down there finna be on them tapes. Y'all, I'm telling y'all, this shit is finna hit. Kamala damn there finna be on them tapes. Biden damn there finna be on them tapes. Y'all not piecing this shit together, Joe. This shit is finna blow the lid off of everything. And a lot of people are saying, "Oh no, this is the distraction." All right,
is based on
we gonna see, man.
That the FBI is just not aware of these people. The FBI has talked to some of these folks, and I'm going to try to encourage the victims to, in fact, talk to the FBI because I think they have some very important things to say. Yes.
Were all of the children auditioning because they were musicians, or were any of them kids of employees or anything like that?
All seeking either TV or some sort of music career with promises of, we're going to make you a star.
Wow.
So basically did things to them such that they don't want to have anything to do with the entertainment industry ever again. All right, guys. Thank you very much for your attention. We're going to go now. Thank you.
It's wild. We are witnessing all of this happen in real time. A lot of people told me I was crazy. 120 new victims. It was already almost 30, 40 victims already? This bring the total up to 160 victims. They said they had 3,000 people come to just this one law firm. And y'all still think that this is gonna blow over, or this the distraction, this ain't real? They just doing this to a black man. Y'all gotta get y'all head about y'all asses, man, for real when it comes to that, because that's a cop-out. That's a dead-ass cop-out. We are living through some very, very crazy and it's seeming like biblical times. Everything is being exposed, from the music industry, from the so-called fake Jewish people to who the true Jews are. Everything is coming to light. Everything that has been hidden in darkness is coming to light. And man, that was just a lot. And they said they doing each case individually. That means it's damn near so many people that's finna be involved in these cases. They like, we can't do it all together. These people, these are very powerful people. They're gonna have their own lawyers, this and that. We're gonna have to do these all separately. And then imagine that if some of these people are going to be complicit in other trials. Imagine if some of these guys outside of Diddy, because it seems like all of these court cases are going to involve Diddy. Imagine the people who are going to have more than 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 cases. They're going to look heavily guilty. And that's why they're doing it this way, so that there's no way for them to get out of this. This is wild, y'all. This is really wild. Man, you guys let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. I'm just blown away that this shit is actually happening and that we are actually witnessing all of this shit, man. Oh, did this die? No, I ain't die. It's acting weird. But that's gonna do it for this video. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell so that you're notified whenever I do drop a video here. We on the road to 500 subscribers, so make sure you guys are subbing up and hitting that subscribe button. But with that being said, KingMarcell out. Peace.
When the pain grows, anything goes. Devil is a lie, looking for the prize. That's eternal life, and bringing the chains in my mind. I'm talking real peace of mind. That's something money can't buy.